minutes of breezy. Gina, come on down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, Lord. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Man, it's good to be back here. I'm all mic'd up. I feel like Buzz Lightyear. Like I'm just, to infinity and beyond. I've got all these lights and bells and whistles on me. This is what happens after COVID. They have to put stuff on you just to make sure, you know, that you're not contagious and stuff. I'm just glad I'm breathing. I don't know about you guys.
Yes.
I'm just glad I'm breathing. Forget about pre-COVID, post-COVID, I don't even know. But when I'm sitting here and I come in here today and the first thing Randy says is that the overdose for last year was 225 people a day.
Whoa.
I almost started crying, and I might still.
Wow.
Because guess how many people are in this room? You're just shy of that. You're just shy of that. And I come by this so honestly. I am a recovering, flaming codependent, which means I love me some addicts and alcoholics. Because, girl, I don't like to be bored. So, I had to find a project, and when I couldn't finish that project, I had to find another project, and I went to school to try to figure out how to fix everybody, because I didn't want to look in the mirror. Because the only person walking around broken that was attracting broken was me. And I didn't want to face that truth. When I sit in the room with an addict and alcoholic, I go there, but by the grace of God go I. Because my disease took me out. My disease had me on the floor, humiliated, ashamed. My disease told me, you should die. You're worthless. There are days and years and decades that I woke up in that hell hole, in that loneliness, in that pain. I don't deserve to be here. I don't care how many degrees and how much success and how perfectionistic I was. I couldn't outchase the demon of self-loathing. Do you know that demon? Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Every day. Every day. And you would look at me and think, what's wrong with that girl, man? She's got it going on. Nice family, white picket fence, and the whole thing. I don't care where you come from. You came from that beautiful family that loved and adored you, and yet you still came with that self-loathing. And you can't shake it. And when you have that, you want anything to stop that pain. Anything. And drugs and alcohol are the miraculous solution and strategy to your pain. People think you're stupid. People think you're weak. People think you don't care. You're just trying to stop the pain and the noise in your head that goes on and on and on. And how do I know that? On my side of the street, with my codependency, with my depression, with my flippant cancer, I hear that too. I wake up every morning too going, why should I be here? Why do I have the right to take this seat? When 225 people just lost their lives fighting. You know, you didn't wake up and go, I'm going to go get high today because it's going to be the best day of my life. I'm going to hook up with that dope man. I'm not getting my ass beat this time. And nobody's going to take my dope neither. And I'm going to have so much I'm going to share with my friends. Bullshit, you ain't going to share with nobody. That ain't the truth. You're like, me, I ain't got nothing. What you looking at? Right? No, girl. No, boy. Not even true. What you want is you want to be away from your head, from your mind, from your insanity, from the hurt, from the suffering, from the lies you tell yourself, from the horrible lies you tell yourself when you look in the mirror. And nobody sees what you see. Except when you walk outside, you think everybody sees it on you. It's a shame that's so deep that you feel when you look in that mirror, that dark soul looks back at you, and you go, darn it. When I walk in the world, that's what everybody sees. That's messed up. I got to take that out. I can't let anybody see that. How am I going to hide that? Every bottle, every drink, every line, every hit. That's how I'm going to take it out. That's how I'm going to erase that part of me that I can't stand, that stares me in the face, and I don't get it. I don't get it because my mama told me she loved me. My daddy gave me everything. That's some of y'all's story. And then the rest of you is like, girl, I don't even know who my daddy is. Never seen him. He never showed up. My mama, she's still drunken on the streets. As a matter of fact, she OD'd and she's in that 225. How many of you got that story? Have parents that are out there. Have parents that didn't get it. Have parents that passed on the message. And then you're trying to live for them. What kind of guilt you have? You couldn't even stick around for me, and now I've got the burden of that addiction, and you expect me to stay. There is a shame, there is an anger, there is a rage that comes up inside of you when you feel that. And nobody gets that but you. People call you insane. Y'all crazy. And do you ever think sometimes you ever go, I'm a little bit crazy? Like, come on, seriously. Like to do what I just did and get out of it and survive it. And I love the ones that come up and go, I OD'd 3 times. Yeah. And I'm like, shoot, you're proud of that? That's, wow, you want to write home to mama about that one? Put it on your Christmas card. Hello. I OD'd 3 times this year. You know why you say it? Because there's a part of you that goes, I'm invincible. How could I do that and come back? And then how many of you go, why am I still back? Why did I come back from, why can't I take myself out of my misery? And you say, what reason, what purpose, who cares if I'm here? And you're searching for that meaning desperately at the end of that last drink. And that last hit. Am I going to get the answer now? And then you get mad. You get mad if there is such a thing as a God. Y'all curse that God over and over again. Look at you. You're a fool. Look what I'm doing with your life. And you let me live here? But someone else who's some beautiful soul walking around doing amazing things and nonprofits and volunteers and all this stuff, and they have a heart attack, get hit by a car, get robbed, get jumped, get dead. You feel that. Do you not feel that? Because I feel it. And when you feel that, all that is recreating that shame and that trauma that you have, that other people in your life have told you and continue to tell you, you don't deserve. You don't deserve to be here. I want you to think about the first time you felt that you didn't deserve to be here. Somebody else did. She has the right to recovery, but I don't. She's going to get it, but I'm not. I'm too far gone. I'm too old. I'm too dumb. I'm too useless. I'm too careless. And it's all too much BS. The stories that you tell yourself are a broken record that aren't even real. It's a manifestation of the insanity of the addiction that tells you to beat yourself up one more time so you have a reason to go get loaded. Your brain is playing a trick on you. It's flipping the script. Do you know that inside the brain there's 2 centers, pleasure and pain? Do you know what a sense of humor God, the universe, whatever controls this thing has, that He put those 2 things right next to each other? That's kind of funny. Now, those of you that are maybe into S&M go, oh, now I get it. Pleasure and pain, right? Because endorphins, adrenaline, release of certain hormones. It's why you get addicted in domestically violent relationships. And you look at that guy and you look at that girl and your family goes, why can't you leave that fool? And you don't understand. Because in that pain, some other part, that adrenaline fix, and those hormones are kicking off going, well, it's kind of good. You kind of love me. You kind of care about me. And how many of you are in abusive relationships and that's where you learned how to use substances to escape? Amen, sister, for raising your hand. You know, when I was with my first husband and I hadn't been addicted to anything, I wanted to real bad. I sure did. I thought, if there's something I could take this pain away, whatever I tried didn't work for me. So then I became a workaholic. And I beat my body down so bad. I was anemic, I had ulcers, and I was in my 20s. And the doctor said, if you don't start talking about and get out what's in your stomach, you are going to do permanent damage. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. I have nothing to say to you. I don't need therapy. That's for other people. Go send my mom to therapy. Or my dad. They're the ones that need it. And of course the fool that I was with, right? Well, who's the bigger fool? I chose that. When you come from a place that you have witnessed your parents disgruntled, dysfunctional, ugly relationship, you repeat it. When you come from a place where your parents got divorced, where they were angry, where they were sad, where it was a single parent, you repeat it. You don't mean to, but you do because it's what you saw. Do as I say, not as I do. Wrong. Doesn't work. I'm going to do exactly what I see you doing. And I'm going to tell myself, I'm never going to be like you. How many of you grew up saying, I am never going to be like my mom. She had 4 husbands by the time she was 25. I'm her 6th kid, the 7th one. We don't even know where that one came. No, I'm serious. You repeat the pattern. You can't help but do what you see. And those of you who have kids now, they're doing what they see. You don't understand. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Some of you, you had children, you should have never had kids. You were in pain, you were suffering, you were hurting, you thought you couldn't have children. You didn't mean to procreate, right? Some of you it was accidental. Some of you it was planned. Some of you it was accidental. To me, every single one of those is a miracle. God said, I can't stop you in any other way. Let me introduce this, and let me see if this stops you. Anything to put between you and that drink and that drug. A new person, a new pastor, a new kid, anything. You get signs and signals all the time and you ignore them. You ignore them because you want to keep getting high. Why do you want to keep getting high? Anybody?
The high.
Say it again. Takes away what you feel? Because I want to get high? What else did I hear?
The high.
I want to run from my problems. I want to hide. I don't know myself anymore. I don't know this man who used to have a dream, who wanted to play ball, who wanted to build things or have a company or work with his dad. I don't know this guy who can't get up out of bed, who finds himself in homes and places and situations where he doesn't even recognize himself anymore and doesn't want to look in the mirror. Doesn't want to take a shower because you don't want to feel the shame on you. Did you come into this world deserving that? Was that the message that was given when you came into the womb of your mother? Hey, let's mess this one up. Let's add and put some addiction in there and really mess this kid up. No. There are words I cannot say in church right now, but I'm saying H-E-L-L, no. Hell no. Every one of you was born precious, divine, and perfect. And that drug and that alcohol tells you every day, no, you're not. Go back out, stick your head in the ground, bury yourself. Forget what a beautiful person you were and how you used to sing in church and how you used to dance on stage and how you were the best brother anybody could ever want until now your sister don't even want to know your name. That's not who you are. Stop telling yourself that. It's such a lie. It's a lie and you keep repeating it and it's the lie that takes you out. The other lie that takes you out is loneliness. All week long, every person I ask, Sabrina, what was your word? Loneliness. Every person I ask, what's your trigger? Loneliness. What does that mean to you? What is loneliness to you? Shout it out. What does that mean? Nobody cares about me? You don't see me? I could die tomorrow? I don't exist? I don't matter? I have no one? How many of you have ever been in that place that you felt absolutely alone in a dark place where you had nobody?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And how many of you had people in your life, but it didn't matter? Mother, father, sister, brother, cousins, in-laws, husband. Number 2, who's quite fabulous. He's quite a snappy dresser, too, in the front row. 8 years of our life together, I was in the darkest depression. I was suicidal on a daily basis. My best friend sitting next to him, nodding her head, that knew it. They didn't matter. Nobody mattered to me. What I wanted was out. That pain was so much stronger than me, and I thought, I am so lonely and so far gone from anything or anyone that I recognize. I want an out. And the pain that I had was I couldn't get addicted to anything. My brain just didn't go that way. My brother, yes. And my brother's sober 35-something years. All right. By the name of God, he got on his knees and said, God, if you take this burden from me, I'm never going to take a drink again. And by the grace of God, my brother's never taken a drink again. How do you do that? Yes. How do you do that? How do you do that? Humility. How do you do that? Fear. Complete and utter fear that I'm not going to wake up tomorrow. Only when I got on my knees, I was in front of a toilet. I was sobbing so hard, I thought my guts were going to come out. And all I could yell was, I want to die. Just let me. Just let me. Why do you hit that bottom? Because we are so stubborn. In our stubbornness, we refuse to hear miracles. We refuse to hear love. We refuse to hear hope. And so we've got to hit the bottom of the toilet and hit our heads and pray to die until we hear a knock on our head. You're not dying today. I don't care how many drugs you took. Someone runs in with a Narcan and saves you. Someone else does CPR on you. Your buddy won't let you go to sleep. Your sister drops you a detox. You wake up in a car and go, I've been in a blackout for 4 days, but Jesus Christ, I'm still alive. Knock, knock, knock. Are you going to listen? 225 of you today. Do you think you haven't earned and deserved the right to be free of this addiction with everything you've given it? You have sacrificed everything for your addiction. You have prayed to the Lord of addiction. And you have bowed down, and you have vowed, and you have dedicated your life. And what did it give you? What has that God given you? Anything. Loss, pain, suffering, shame, guilt. More pain. Loss in your body, loss in your soul, loss in your family. If you can humble yourself to your addiction, why can't you humble yourself to the God of your understanding? I don't care if it's an imaginary God. I don't care if it's a star that you see outside that shines so bright it captures your attention. I don't care if it's this Christmas tree at the Crossing Church. If it's your baby breathing when you put that child to sleep at night, and their breath and the smell of their breath makes you feel free, then pray to that. I believe in this, and I believe this can set me free until you find God of your understanding. Because why are you still here when you've done so much to take yourself out? Is it a coincidence that you attempted suicide so many times and it failed you? And if you thought you weren't attempting, every single time you use a substance, you're attempting because the odds are against you. And you failed miserably because you're supposed to be sitting right here. And there is an ounce or a ton of relief in knowing that you're still sitting here. As much as you hate it, own that seat. Own it. Some of you walk up and you're like, I got 5 days sober. I want you to shout it. I had a woman walk into my office today. She had been with us through treatment before. She goes, I relapsed. And I said, you're sitting here. You're sitting here. She goes, I got 10 days. And I go, yes. She looked at me like, girl, are you high? It's the middle of the day. It's the afternoon, Gina. What's going on? What are you doing in your office? What's actually in that water bottle? It's water. 10 days. I said celebrate. Because 10 days ago you didn't have it. Where were you 10 days ago? Oh, she had a story. She was drunk. She had 2 things she did that she's real proud of. One was she was going to go next door and hook up with the 30-year-old son of her best friend, who's in their 60s. That's my age. So I told her, oh, you go, girl. No. I said, wow, those are some decisions. You know, I go, imagine how your friend would have felt if she woke up and found you in her kid's bed, right? Number one. The second decision was, I'm going to call my daughter and tell her what a terrible, horrible human being she is. What a lousy mother she is. And unfortunately, she followed through with that second choice. Now, what do you think I saw in my office when she was sitting in front of me telling me that story? Do you think I saw her go, woo, look what I did when I got drunk today, yeah. Called my daughter, went off on her. Did I see that? Did I see the joy that I saw when I said you have 10 days? No, what did I see?
Shame. Shame.
Yell it out.
Shame.
Crying, shame, guilt. Ain't that ugly? She was just sobbing. She just broke down. And I said, that's your addiction. The sober woman, would you call your daughter and do that? No. The sober woman would embrace her sobriety and say, I adore my daughter, and for every day that I didn't show up for her, thank God I can show up for her today, and I can take care of her baby and be that grandmother with integrity and show up for her. But that drunk mama could not do that. Why? Because her addiction one more time said, bow down in front of me and I'll show you the way. If you don't remember anything I said, remember that every time you go, you are giving praise to the God of addiction. And you are telling it, give me more and take me further into this disease. And you have a choice in that. You have a choice in that. We've had so many women come through this beautiful place that I work that's called what?
New Directions.
Say it loud.
New Directions for women.
Yes, New Directions for Women. And they go out, it happens, right? The most beautiful thing we see walking through the door is somebody humbly saying, I messed up, please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want to go back out. Please help me. I know how painful it is to pick up that phone. I know that. I was a therapist who was suicidal, and I would pick up the phone and call my friends and beg them, please don't 150 me for what I'm about to tell you. I would tell them, please don't lock me up. And then I would tell them, I want to die. Over and over again. They look at me like I was insane, because I am. And in my insanity, I need one thing. Your support. I need you to see me. I need it to be okay. I can't hide my pain anymore and try to make it look okay. You all tried to make it look okay for your mother and your kids and everybody. You tried so hard and you couldn't do it anymore. Now in your sobriety, don't do it. If you're hurting, say, I'm hurting today. You gotta call your sponsor 10 times, call your sponsor. Your sponsor has an issue with that? Get a new sponsor. Sorry, you signed up for it, right? Be real with yourself and say, this ain't pretty. I went to jail. I lost my kids. My husband is kicking me out. My wife hates my guts. My family won't talk to me. I'm in pain, and I've got to let everybody know. There is no shame. This woman that I talked to today is dying and keeps relapsing because she's so ashamed to tell everybody one thing. I'm an alcoholic. And guess what? She is addicted to the God of alcohol. But she is a human being who is priceless and precious and deserves to heal like every single person sitting in this room. You're not just that. That is what you do. I do alcohol to numb the pain. I do cocaine to forget about my trauma, being sexually abused, being raped, being tortured, being left, being abandoned, being homeless. That's why I do drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol have been my friend, and now they betray me, and I'm hurting. And I need you to know, I'm sober today because I'm facing that. Because I want a life outside of my commitment to the disease of addiction. I want a life that I can be proud of and look in that mirror and say, I deserve for you to know me. I'm a person worthy of being known. I have something to offer in this life. That's what being of service is about. That's what the 12th step is about. Despite my failings, despite where I have fallen down, I deserve to be seen and loved and heard and acknowledged. And I have something to share and give. I have a voice, I have a heart, I have compassion. I'm real creative. Because you and I, not Paul, you're real creative. See, you forget. You know all those skills? Manipulation, lying, cheating, stealing, thieving, marketing, sales, executive, management, right? Business and finance. I know what to do with your money, honey. You got all kinds of mad skills. Now just turn them and use them for good and be a power, a force for good, because that's who you are. And you just happen to use substances to strategically get through life because life was not kind to you. And it's not going to repay you back, and it doesn't owe you anything. So you start paying it forward because you deserve that. And I deserve that. Because I deserve to know you sober. Because my best friends in the world, all of them, including Randy, are people walking in sobriety today. Because they are the people that I can trust. Because they live their life with integrity and truth and honesty. And that's who you are. I don't even know what to say, but
We love you.
I love you. I love you. I love you for your bravery and for your courage and for being here. I love you for listening. I love and honor you for the precious souls that you are and the risks that you're taking to fight for your life. I love you for that, and I admire you for that. And I hope you don't forget it. I really do. I hope you don't forget it. Thank you.
Come on, give it up for Gina. That was awesome.